Hi guys, and welcome to a new series. I'm going to be talking about in this new series healing time frames. So we're going to be talking about the healing time frames of bones like fractures and stress fractures. We're going to be talking about tendons and ligaments and muscles and pretty much how long it takes for these structures of the body to heal. So today we're going to be starting off with bones. In particular, we're going to be talking about the fracture that can happen to a bone. And in another session, we're going to be talking about, still with regards to the bone, what happens in a stress fracture and how long that will take for it to heal. So welcome to today's session on fractures. So with regards to fractures, it can happen through a direct trauma, like a blow to a particular bone, or it can happen through an indirect trauma, like if you fall and you place your hand out and to stop your fall, and your arm or somewhere along that continuum there is a fracture. And so with regards to the bone, it can have, with a fracture or a break, it can have a couple of appearances to it. It can have a straight fracture across the bone, or it can be in an oblique angle, or it could be really messy with just fragments of bone everywhere. That doesn't sound lovely, and it's not a lovely thing. And so with regards to the healing, it does depend on what type of fracture it is. And so what can, as you may know if you've already experienced it, what the clinical feature would be, or even if it's just a minor fracture, you may notice that there's pain, there's tenderness, especially when you go to touch it. If there's pain on palpation, that's usually a sign of, it doesn't 100% rule in a fracture if you've got pain on a site, but there's also swelling or deformity or restriction of range or localized bruising. So x-rays are usually a good pickup for any acute fracture. And if we're looking for a non-displaced or a minimally displaced fracture, so there's not much of an issue with the alignment of the bone, it's pretty well aligned, there's just a separation, then bracing or casting would be ideal. If it's a displaced fracture, which means where the two bones are pretty much, or the two ends of the bone now are not lining up straight, then there may need to be a reduction or immobilization of that. And if it's fully displaced and really unstable, which means that it has a progression of, if it progresses to stay in its state, then it will cause a lot of damage, then it will require this fixation. So when it comes to fractures, we're not talking about big breaks here, but when it comes to fractures, let's talk more about the non-displaced or minimally displaced type of fracture. Then we're looking at about 6 to 8 weeks. So there we are, there's the big answer for fractures. It's about 6 to 8 weeks. And it does look different for a particular part of the body. So the main aim is to reduce the activity until there's no pain with weight bearing, for example, if the fracture is in the foot or ankle or leg. And so there's a period of immobilizing it and not walking on it. So again, we're looking for a fracture. We're looking for about 6 to 8 weeks. Sorry about that, guys. All right, see you later. Bye.